It's a rebuild in Tucson, but they got off to a phenomenal start, 11-0, undefeated in non-conference for the first time since 2009.
Yeah, they played a really difficult early opening stretch to the Big 12. It doesn't get any easier tonight, but it's a rivalry. You got to step up. These are the big games that you want to play.
There's a fun vibe in this building tonight. Arizona State trying to set an all-time attendance mark, of course, against Arizona. The rally towels are out, and of course, there's always a good Arizona contingent as well in this rivalry matchup. The Wildcats to serve and open. Avery Scoggins, the freshman from New Bern, North Carolina, is set to get things going as we wait just a moment. The Sun Devils coming in winners of 2 straight. They're undefeated so far this year at home at 5-0, and you mentioned the difficult schedule for Arizona. We'll touch more on that as the show goes on, but let's just say the Wildcats are battle-tested throughout the start of their Big 12 tenure. 1-3 in conference play, but a win tonight in Tempe would put to bed a lot of the concerns they maybe had through their first 4 matches.
Yeah, it certainly would, but it's, again, you play a lot of these tough matches early. We'll talk about it on. The schedule does get easier for them.
Scoggins ready to go. It's the Cats, it's the Devils. This is what we live for in college volleyball, and we're underway in Tempe. Immediately, it's Jeter coming up with a kill, and right on cue, Claire Jeter, who had a phenomenal week last time out against Utah and BYU, breaks the seal, and the Devils on the board first.
Yeah, Jeter's another one of those. It is a scary attack for this Arizona State team. You got one of the best hitters in the country in Jeter.
Jeter will serve for Arizona State. Balance and depth for the Sun Devils offensively. That was a beautiful swing, and the Wildcats able to get right back on the scoreboard, knot things up at 1. But certainly as a potent attack for Arizona State offensively, and you get the sense Arizona, they're going to just have to try to weather the opening storm. We mentioned the energy in this building. The Wildcats trying to pull off the upset, and they need to stay poised in this first set. They play to the far side, and right on cue, it's a big-time swing and a big-time kill. Right on cue, it's Rebelo, the senior out of Brazil.
Yeah, Rebelo, really nice job. Set it perfectly. Beautifully done.
5th year with the program, and in the transfer portal era, that becomes increasingly more rare to find. So she has been with this program through the coaching change and is now reaping the benefits of that. It's the first dig out by Schroll. Met at the net, and this rally continues in center. Played to the near side. Big-time swing. Again, it's Schroll, showing why she is the defensive player of the week. Sear gets it back over for Arizona State. Tapped over. Nice job by Ung to keep that alive. And now near side, again, tapped by Sear. And a long rally here with an ASU lead of 2-1. Schroll, near side. Sear, a swing, and it is blocked at net. Beautiful job right there. It was Jalen Hodge, who we just highlighted, that came away with that block there.
Yeah, Jalen Hodge, you're going to see her on offense and on defense. Really nicely done. You saw the other one, a big key tonight, I think, journey on it. Those middle blockers for Arizona are going to be huge.
A career-high 11 blocks a week ago for Tucker against BYU. That was out of play right near us, and the Wildcats have their first lead in the early going of 3-2. You mentioned Journey Tucker, and it is always a storyline with both of these schools, of course, wanting to keep local talent home. Arizona with plenty of local talent. ASU as well, Mary Schroll being one of them from right here in Tempe. There's a pancake to keep that point alive. Now it's Cromartie in the back. Rebelo. Far side tap. And another point for Arizona. That was Jordan Wilson, the outside hitter from nearby Gilbert, Arizona.
Yeah, really nicely done by Wilson, setting up a couple different attacks. You see it going, you got to mix it up every now and then.
Haven Ray, senior out of Peoria. Serves. There's Sear, and there is the hammer that she can really show off at any given time. Jelly Sear, the senior from Flower Mound, Texas, last week's Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week, and it swings like that, you see why.
Yeah, that was just power. That was set her up perfectly.
Sear will stay back to serve as the Devils back to within 1. Early going, a lot of energy. Both these teams just trying to find their footing. Arizona State took the season series a year ago, sweeping Arizona in both matches. That was a beautiful play by Colheed on the slide. That's what we noticed from Colheed a lot last week, especially against BYU. She was excellent all week on this play exactly right here.
Yeah, you're going to watch her. They're going to set her and open it up for a good attack.
Team high 12 kills against Utah a week ago. And it was on a phenomenal 800 hitting percentage. And the Devils will get another point right back. That was Cromartie. Shania Cromartie, just 5'9". She's undersized, but she makes up for it with her ability to jump out of the gym. We said it a week ago. It's like she's jumping on a trampoline at times.
Yeah, and Cromartie, honestly, that one, she didn't really have to show off that jumping. A little change-up, kind of floated in the air a little bit. Really nicely done.
And that was absolutely demolished right in center. It was held up there and finished strong by Argentina Ung, the senior from Mexico.
Yeah, you see just a misplay there from Arizona. Those are one of the big things, those little errors that they're going to make, and kind of heard from Coach Stubbs, it's going to be key.
A 4-0 run for ASU, and it will now be 5 straight points scored for the Sun Devils. And you're exactly right. In our chat with Coach Stubbs earlier today, she said, look, Arizona State, a great passing team. We're already the underdog coming up to Tempe. We have to limit our mistakes. So far, the Sun Devils, in this run at least, making U of A's mistakes really come back to haunt them. High fluttering serve that time by Sear. Ung able to keep that alive. Went still alive. Up to that far side, and that's a beautiful hammer by Jordan Wilson.
Yeah, nice one by Wilson, but kind of going back to what you said about the passing, Arizona State is a team, they like to play with a lot of tempo, they like to get moving quick, and Coach Stubbs, it was something she mentioned, we got to stay within ourselves, got to be smart, got to stay in our positions, abilities to kind of slow this match down a little bit.
Hodge to serve for Arizona, and you absolutely said it best, the tempo ASU can play with offensively, that can be a real problem for opponents, especially early on in matches. Marty couldn't quite come up with the kill, and that is perfectly navigated through, as that was Carly Cisneros. We'll talk more about Cisneros as the night goes on, but certainly a name that those in Tucson that follow this program already know, and Big 12 fans in general will follow Cisneros' career as time goes on. There's an ace for U of A, and after 5 straight points for Arizona State, the Wildcats have knotted this thing back up at 7.
Yeah, really nicely done bouncing back, but you mentioned Cisneros. We'll talk a lot about her, the nation's #1 recruit coming in. Her and Hodge make a really interesting duo as the season goes on.
And it's the future. That's a building block that this Wildcat program will build around for the next few years. Great job. Keep that alive again by Schroll. Ung plays off Colheed. That was blocked at the net, and the point will go to Arizona.
Yeah, you saw they tried that little slide once again. Arizona did a really nice job getting the block set up in time, though, to have it there. This play not getting it high enough over that net.
Hodge again to serve. Talk about the resolve of the Wildcats, as Cromartie will get that point back for Arizona State. That snaps a 4-0 scoring run. Very evenly played early portion of this first set.
Yeah, the 5'9" stature right there, I think, helped Cromartie. That one block came right back to her, but as she landed, just went right over her head.
Troll, we've talked about her defense. How about 19 aces so far in the year as well? She's very potent and dangerous service line as well, and that was a bad pass, like we talked about earlier, Killian. Arizona really needs to nail down accuracy in the passing department, and that was an error right there.
Yeah, that's one of those unforced errors that Coach Stubbs not going to be happy about to look at next time she gets a chance to talk to her team.
They attack that far side, and a great looking kill by Roby, who's able to respond after that attack error. The senior from Atlanta, Georgia, who spent some time in the Pac-12 and the ACC, 2 years at Oregon, 1 year at Florida State, and now in Tucson, her senior year of college volleyball.
Yeah, Roby's that other middle blocker that I'm going to keep an eye on alongside Journey Tucker. They like to try and rotate them.
Robello will check back in for Arizona State after the first service error on the night. It's those free points when you're on the road taking on a top 15 team. Of course, they're going to happen occasionally, but you got to try to limit those. BYU on Friday against Arizona State, 11 service errors. You just can't get away with those against this Sun Devil attack. Wildcats have come out with some juice, though. They clearly are ready to go tonight. From Marty. Was it tipped at net? It was, and the point for Arizona State.
Another good attack from Camardi. But you mentioned the energy. Just this building is awesome. But this is one of those matches. If you can't get fired up for this, you don't deserve to be in the building.
You could hear the passion when chatting with Sharita Stubbs earlier today. As we noted, an excellent player for this Arizona program. That was blocked and returned to sender. That was Claire Jeter, who had a block party of her own a week ago in their win against Utah. That's her first block of the night, and it was a statement.
Yeah, she had 9 against Utah. That was a career high for her. But she's just so impressive offensively, defensively. She does it all for this team near the net.
There's a lot of praise for her kill numbers, but you could tell that that block total she had against Utah a week ago, it meant a lot to her. Trying to attack that far side, and that was out of play. Point back for the Wildcats.
I think that's one of those things. Blocks, it's really an unselfish statistic when you look at it. It's, hey, I'm willing to put myself in a position, and I got to make it to play to help my team out, and especially for somebody who's such a great attacker, it says a lot.
We noted that performance against Utah was a career-high 9 blocks. As the Wildcats able to draw back to within 1. You talked a lot off-air before the broadcast. The middle blocker is so important for Arizona in this matchup tonight. So far, Journey Tucker has certainly made a difference.
Yeah, Tucker, you mentioned, she had 11 blocks against BYU, a huge match for her. And it is big, especially when you're going up against this monstrosity of an attack in Arizona State. When you've got Colheed, when you've got Sear, when you've got Jeter, you're going to need your middle blockers to be huge.
Yeah. It's paramount. It's absolutely paramount. Another service error on Arizona. And it's Jillian Neal, one of the serving specialists for ASU back there. And it will be a point for Arizona State. So that was touched twice by the Wildcats.
Yeah, that was just a tough one. Both met at the net and end up more of a self-defense than anything.
Scoggins, the freshman, as we said, this is a Wildcats team that has a solid balance of youth and experience. Big time swing by Jelly Sear, and that will send us to our first timeout of the night. Back and forth we go. It's a rivalry matchup in the Big 12. Arizona State, Arizona. How much fun is this? Set number 1. It's the 13th ranked Sun Devils off to an early lead, 15-11 here in Arizona. Sun Devils students are out in full force. A lot of buzz around this matchup, certainly. This program here in Tempe that has taken off really over a year and a half that J.J. Van Niel has been here. Out of the timeout, there's Ung and Neal able to keep that point alive for ASU. Sear right down Broadway with another kill.
What a pass there from Schroll. Just doing a nice job. Kind of a bit of an errant return on the first attack from Arizona. Stays calm, cool, collected, puts it in the perfect spot for Sear.
And this is music to the ears of J.J. Van Niel, getting to keep Jillian Neal back there, the sophomore from San Diego, who we noted is just a service specialist for ASU. Wildcats on their back heels. Sear now has 3 straight kills in a row, and the Devils have scored 5 in a row overall.
Jeter and Sear, again, it's that same exact play we came out of the break with. You even saw Jeter kind of laughing about it, saying, how do we keep getting away with this? It's just too easy. Got to pick. Who am I going to commit to? Because that's one of the things. If Jeter really wants to, she can elevate and take that home if Tucker commits the one way or the other.
The freshman Scoggins also over there. And Arizona State clearly likes what they have in that matchup. They've been really going to it a lot. That will be too far, and the run continues for Arizona State. Their longest scoring run of this first set, and it will draw upon a Wildcats timeout. That's 6 points in a row for Arizona State. And they've opened up their largest lead of set number 1 of 7 here.
Yeah, that is a needed timeout right there from Sharita Stubbs. Just kind of lose it. This is one of those kind of moments early on in a match, especially when you're the unranked team. You're kind of coming into a hostile environment, trying to pull off an upset. You can't let runs like this get away, especially early in matches in a first set team like Arizona State is.
Killian, we've already talked about this a lot, but for Arizona State, it's a potent offense, and it's really a 3-headed monster that really cues up that attack. Sear, Cole, he said, and their largest lead of this opening set. of 18-11. Out of the timeout, again, it will be Neal back to serve. Del Norte High School in San Diego. 13 aces on the year for Arizona State. Out of the timeout, the Wildcats trying to make a comeback here in set number 1 on the road. It'll be a golden opportunity and a nice job right in center. Yet again, they go right back to Journey Tucker, who's really been the brightest spot so far for Arizona.
Yeah, Tucker, again, we knew that she was going to be important coming into this match. Does a really nice job just kind of match against BYU to go along with that career high in blocks.
Go off to that far side. Unusual based on what we've been seeing for Arizona State. The Wildcats were able to return. Now it's Sear, taps over, and Jelly Sear with 5 kills already and hitting at nearly a 400 clip. She's red hot, and that is a great sign for Arizona State.
Sear with a little bit of a change-up on that one. We've seen the last couple just absolutely firing at home. That time, it was almost kind of like a quick little punch, but it messes up that timing of that block. But really nicely done.
Middle part of this first set has been owned by Arizona State. We've talked about that scoring run a few times. It's now 6-1, make it 6-2, as that was a big-time swing down line. That's a thing of beauty for Jalen Hodge.
Yeah, I really like what Arizona's doing, kind of setting that rotation up and getting that play going for Hodge. Really making it tough for this block for Arizona State because they've got Tucker coming towards the middle as well. Kind of similar thing we saw a few points ago for Arizona State. You got to pick where you want to go.
It's the freshman Cisneros to serve. It's a service error. And ASU, the first of that key number of 20. Extending out that run a bit more, it was 6-1 for ASU. And hit percentage at .333. Now for the Sun Devils as well. Rebello to serve. The center, and they are picking on the middle, right through the heart of that Sun Devil defense. Journey Tucker, yet again, that's her second kill.
Yeah, Tucker going to swap out now for Roby, but again, another one. That one looked like everybody's a little off sync, but Tucker does a really nice job staying in her position, staying calm, and putting that right in the center.
Even Ray, senior for the Wildcats, sends over. Ray keeps it alive. Played off to this near side. Big time swing. It's blocked out of play, and the point for Arizona.
Yeah, the block got there in time for Arizona State. It was nicely done and set up. Just unfortunate for ASU. Couldn't keep it in.
Wildcats trying to make one more push. It was really tight in the early going of this first set. 6 ties, 4 lead changes. Sun Devils trying to run away and take this first set. What would be their 7th straight set won in conference play. And there's Sear yet again, her 6th kill.
Yeah, Sear, she's been making her living right here. It's just again and again, if it keeps on working, keep going back to it.
So Sear, as we noted, the player of the week offensively in the Big 12 last week. And it was absolutely deserved. There's a big-time swing by Jordan Wilson, who's able to pick up her 3rd kill, now matched with Hodge for a team high. But going back to Sear, a couple of weeks ago now, 18 kills at TCU. That was the most by Sun Devil this year. She's on pace to potentially challenge that with her hot start tonight. Yet another service error on Arizona. That's their 4th already.
Yeah, it's when you just can't have those service errors. You don't want errors in general, but especially off of serve. It's such a big opportunity to start things off right. When you're pulling that, it's just tough.
They allow Schroll to serve as well. Beautiful play in center that time. That was Roby, the senior who has the 2nd highest career hit percentage in all of the country at over 400.
Yeah, that's a big reason why. Really nicely done. Just takes that open space right in the center and really quick coming down right on top of it. I've been really impressed with how the middle blockers have been offensively for Arizona so far.
Dottie to serve. The junior out of Milan, Italy. There's Cromartie down line and in tune. Beautiful swing by Shania Cromartie, the senior from Tallahassee.
Yeah, Cromartie, she kind of comes in here almost just hiding behind Jeter a little bit. Jumps out of the gym, and when she's coming behind Jeter, that's so difficult to really even see.
Sometimes you can lose track of Cromartie with all the other big names we've talked about throughout this first set for ASU, but she's a key cog And when she's playing well, it makes this team even more difficult. There's back-to-back kills for Cromartie right on cue. And Arizona State now has set points.
Yeah, Cromartie really, I mean, 17 career double-doubles coming into tonight. She just does a little bit of everything for this team, and you see why she's so important.
Ung to serve. Is it in? It is not. And this first set will go for at least one more point. Arizona with their backs up against the wall. And one timeout remaining here in set number one. And it will be Kiari Roby to serve. A little bit sloppy that time from Schroll. A rare mistake from the Sun Devil libero. And it's 2 straight now for the Wildcats to keep this first set alive.
Yeah, you're going to have that happen. You know, when you're in a libero, when you're constantly digging stuff out, especially like she is, you're going to have a couple of those.
Will be again back there. Again, work to Schroll in center. Cromartie. Nice job digging that out and keeping that point alive. As a freshman, Cisneros. They go again to Cromartie. This rally plays on, and there's a beautiful southpaw kill right on cue. It's the first time we've called the name of Anna Heath. Her first kill keeps Arizona alive. That's now 3 straight for the Wildcats.
Yeah, nicely done from Heath. You mentioned the lefty coming from the right hand. A different look really makes it tough.
A bit fitting that a service error ends the first set. That's 5 service errors on the Wildcats. And Arizona State takes set 1 at 25-20. Evenly matched for much of that first set. As we mentioned, 6 different ties, 4 lead changes, but the Sun Devils own the middle part. Underway here in set number 2. That was Jillian Neal to get things going. Pinballed around. The Devils were able to get it back over net. Tapped and blocked at the net. Nice job keeping it alive again for Arizona. With a dig. Schroll. Now it is Sear. Extended rally here on the first point of the second set, and it ends up with a Roberta Rebello kill.
Yeah, really nice rally from both sides. Arizona State doing a good job. A little bit of hectic start to it, but stayed calm, had a couple attacks, and nicely done sneaking that one through the right of the block.
Those long extended points, every coach in the country would say the same thing. Those are momentum moments. I mean, that was only the first point of the second set, but Arizona's looking for moments like that to capitalize on. They played relatively well in that first set. It's a bit of a lull in the middle portion. Free ball there to get it back over, and a nice job in center yet again to capitalize on the miscommunication, the broken play for Arizona State. And the Wildcats knotted up at 1.
Yeah, another really good point there from Tucker. Just killing that one. It's that quick little, it's kind of a nice little quick set to her, and that really almost pushing it down.
There's the first ace of the match for either side. Cisneros, pardon, their second ace of the match. First for Cisneros personally. Out of Liberty North High School in Kansas City. Said it earlier, the nation's #1 recruit, and she's now got back-to-back aces. And again, talking about Cisneros. It's a building block for this program going forward, yes, but it's also just really interesting to hear how Coach Stubbs talked about her freshman phenom. She's likable, she's humble, she sets the tone for us. Even though she's a freshman, she does that for this Wildcat squad. Sear plays down line, and that was picture perfect for Jelly Sear, who's just in the zone tonight.
Yeah, Sear really is. She's locked in. Really impressive start. 7th kill already tonight.
At 18. A little ways away from that, but she's certainly looking the part of potentially threatening that, as that was out of play. And it's 2 straight points for Arizona State to knot this back up at 3 aside.
Yeah, just a little long on that attack. They tried to get it over here to Wilson, and just a little too long. She's trying to find that back corner.
Jeter to serve, and there's second service error on Arizona State. So we talked about the Wildcats struggling in that department in the first set. ASU gives a point right back to their rivals from Tucson. If you're unfamiliar with this rivalry, Tucson and Tempe separated by just over 100 miles. An hour and a half away from each other. There's the third ace of the second set already for U of A.
That one was just perfectly placed there by Haven Ray. Another one of these kind of Phoenix area locals from Peoria to Sunrise Mountain High School. But that's one of those ones, every once in a while, you get a serve that's just so good.
It's a challenge here on the floor. See whether or not it was a third ace of this second set or not. Our camera crew always gives us great looks on these.
From our spot, I thought it looked like it was. Every once in a while, it's just so good. You just kind of have to sit there and look at it and be like, well, yeah, you got to give it to him.
Yeah.
Tip of the old ball cap.
Haven Ray to serve. Sear yet again. And there's kill number 8. That kill counter for Jelly Sear starting to near double digits.
Yeah, the scary thing, if you're Arizona, if you're getting Sear this hot, if you're going to start trying to shade a little bit more over to where she is, that's when we're going to start to see more of Colheed. We're going to start to see more of...
Not only does she have those 8 kills, but she's also hitting at a 500 clip. Service error back for Arizona State. And say what you will about Sear and her play so far, but Arizona with those 3 aces in this second set, on top by 2. That's part of the damned if you do, damned if you don't mentality for the Wildcats. Aggressive serving here in this second set. And that's that 6th service error. There is Jelly Sear, who had a streak of 10+ kills. It was snapped against BYU. Looks like she'll be right back on schedule after this one's all said and done. Great effort that time. Laying out for it was Ginder, but nobody was home to keep that point alive, and it's another kill, this time Cromartie.
Yeah, Cromartie's been really good tonight. That's her 6th, second on the team so far tonight. And as I said, Cromartie is one of those players that doesn't necessarily jump out when you're kind of looking around and scouting, but she just does all these little things so well.
Cromartie and Sear with 14 kills combined. That's the same amount as Arizona has as a team so far. Near side, met at the net. Nice block by Colheed. And the Arizona State blocker right in center. Savannah Colheed gets the job done.
Yeah, Colheed comes from Indiana. A solid career there. One of the best blockers, top 10 in history. Proving it why right there.
Devils have stormed back on a 3-0 scoring run to take the lead, but that will end relatively quickly. As a nice job attacking Sear on that back line. And the Wildcats knock this thing back up at 7.
Yeah, that's an easy one right there for Hodge. Set much you can do to stop that.
Hodge with 4 kills and 4 digs so far. Number 11 in red. And another service error will give Arizona State the lead right back.
These service errors have really been hurting Arizona. It seems like any opportunity they have to really pick up a little bit of momentum and grab control of the second set, they've just been losing it right off the service errors.
And it's ASU +4 in terms of that department right now, sitting at 7-3 overall. Hit off the tape, and it will turn into a point for the Wildcats. It was Hodge yet again.
Doesn't matter how you get him, he'll take it.
No doubt about it. It's an Arizona squad who started off 11-0, like we said. It was their first non-conference undefeated record since 2009. And just because they started 11-0, it's a team that was picked to finish 12th in the Big 12, a league that has 15 volleyball playing members. There's Cromartie again in center with another kill. But that already had bested Arizona's win total from a year ago. It was a tough year, just 8-23. But they have some juice, and until this kill from Cromartie, they've been playing set.
That's really what it's all about. I mean, you struggled last year and trying to build back up this program and get it back to where you want to be.
Schroll tried to set up Ravello, but the Wildcats weren't having it. And there is Cisneros, the freshman, right on cue. able to pick up a kill. Cisneros comes up with her second. It's been a slow start for her. They really need her to get things going if they're to come back in this one.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a slower start for the #1 recruit in the nation coming in. But one of the things that Coach Stubbs really mentioned is you got to get players who know how to win. And when you do it like Carly Cisneros did in high school, that's a mentality that you have to have.
Jeter, she knows how to win, certainly, and she knows how to do exactly that, right in center. She scored the first point of the night for Arizona State and had been quiet since. Comes up with her second kill right there.
Yeah, but kind of in line with what we mentioned, that three-headed monster of Jeter, Sear, and Colheed. And honestly, you can add a fourth in Cromartie so far tonight, but it might not be Jeter's night, at least so far, but there are others picking up the slack.
She can always pop off at any time. You saw that hit percentage for Jeter at .473. That's 7th best in the country. Celebrations weren't to last long, though, as the Wildcats get a point right back. Just played right down line. And a nice job that time again by Hodge.
Starting to see more attacks from Arizona coming on this near side and going across the court. I'm liking what they're doing with that.
Cisneros again for the Wildcats. Ung in center. And they tee up Sear, who picks up her 9th kill. And again, it's that same set you keep talking about, Killian. They've got Jeter and Sear right by each other, and the Wildcats have had no answer so far.
And it's so difficult because as a blocker, you get in this situation where you go, okay, I got two of the better ones in the conference right in front of me. I got to pick which way to go.
Nice dig that time by Ung to keep this point alive for Arizona State. Sear, quick down line, and a laugh from Claire Jeter as that was heady. Double-digit kills already from Sear. That's her 10th.
Yeah, that's a snaps in the old poetry bar right there. That was a really pretty little play off of one. It might not have been a pretty start, but a really sharp finish.
Jeter will stay back and serve. Back and forth, seesaw second set so far. Highly competitive between these two rivals. Sear, Cisneros plays to center, now off to that far side, and a kill right back. There's Hodge yet again. She's heated up in this second set. That's now 7 kills overall for Jalen Hodge.
Yeah, Hodge, really nicely done. Block didn't look like it was fully there for Arizona State. Might have been a little bit of space that helped that ball sneak through.
And it's Haven Ray. A true scholar baller, excels in the classroom at the University of Arizona. Another service error on the Wildcats, and the 13th ranked Devils now have 13 points here in set number 2. That's Roberta Rebello back there for Arizona State. One of those unsung heroes who played a huge factor in this team last year, a program that made it to the Sweet 16, won 2 NCAA tournament games for the first time in program history. She was 3rd on the team in kills a year ago. Not quite up there this season so far, but those are the kind of sacrifices, if you will, you need to make to have a team follow up what they did last year and potentially be even better this season.
I think really kind of a key point to that is how she was during that University of Utah game. She wasn't necessarily in that match statistically, but she was all over the place getting this team fired up.
Sear this time denied, and that's exactly what Arizona needed. As a beautiful job, it was Heath over there for Arizona, and a big-time rejection alongside Roby.
Yeah, Heath really impressed a ton of those tonight.
And unfortunately, that momentum is immediately killed for the 9th service error already on Arizona. We mentioned BYU had 11 in their sweep, their defeat to Arizona State on Friday. Wildcats looking like they may fly over that total.
And again, another one of those situations. You get a big solo block on one of the better players in the match tonight, and then just kind of toss all that momentum away.
Ung, Cromartie. Nice job digging that out by Ginder to keep the point alive for the Wildcats. Cisneros. Again, Ung. Center, it's Sear. But another great dig by the Wildcats, who are going to have to play this across. Cisneros able to do so. Ung. There's the slide. It was out of play, and Arizona will get the point. They tried to tee up Colheed unsuccessfully that time, and we're again knotted up at 14.
Yeah, you mentioned that slide, though. It is such a tough thing to combat, and especially when you've got Sear coming from backline attacks like she did on that rally. You got to be careful if you're Arizona.
Jordan Wilson unable to keep that in play, and there's double-digit service errors. We sound like a broken record, but it has been such a problem for Arizona so far. The Sun Devils lead it by 1, 15-14. First break of the second set.
All right, Sandworms out of the basement, and the...
Gillian, I know we've talked about it a ton, but you're exactly right. It seems like anytime Arizona has some momentum, they put together a bit of a rally. It's been really self-inflicted wounds that has eliminated that momentum.
It has been, and again, it seems like it's every single time they have a chance to seize that momentum, too.
Boom, that time with a great serve. Cisneros had to dive, lay out to keep that point alive. Here's Cromartie, who was denied. Troll. Now back to the Wildcats side. Oong with a dig. They set to Cromartie, and it is an attack error on Cromartie, a rare mistake from her tonight. And the Wildcats able to pull back to within 1. Very tightly contested second set, and you get the sense that first set, especially in the middle portion, went to Arizona State's style, how they want to play. Quick, attacking offense. The second set, outside of the service errors, has been more of Arizona's style.
Yeah, it certainly has been.
High lobbing serve that time. Play off that far side, and a big-time hammer by Rebello. That's the third kill for Roberta Rebello, and that was a cross-court. Some major velo on that swing.
Yeah, the Brazilian Rebello getting involved in the attack right there.
It's Julian Neal now for Arizona State. Sun Devils trying to take a 2-0 lead in this match, but they're working for it here in the second. Played again to center, and that was Journey Tucker, who we've been impressed with. I know you were very high on her coming into the night, and yeah, the stat sheet might not be massive for the middle blocker in Journey Tucker.
Arizona State defense, she's been doing a lot of that really quick, kind of dropping it right into the middle. ASU seemed like they had it taken care of a little bit earlier in the second set. Comes right back to it.
Rebello denied that time as they tried to work it back to number 18 in goal. This time it's Sear who's denied. Again, it's Tucker who is over there for Arizona. And the Wildcats have knotted this thing back up at 18.
Yeah,
timeout on the floor.
Yeah, you get Tucker and Hodge really nicely done. Getting that block there, getting it in time and set up really well.
A timeout for J.J. Van Niel. Great crowd on hand tonight, like we said. And this is an ASU program that, of course, winning will bring people into the seats. But there is a lot of excitement around this program. 12th of the nation in attendance a year ago. They're splitting their home games between Mullet Arena, which is, of course, the home of Arizona State hockey, and right here at Desert Financial Arena. But this, the best crowd on hand we have seen. And that includes a match earlier in the year where they set
of a new conference in the Big 12, but also the top of the nation. You want to stick yourselves up there with the Nebraskas, you got the Pitts, the Texases. If you want to do that, you got to win these games. You got to fill the arena and bring that energy. And a crowd like here tonight, this is definitely a big one as they're going to start trying to get them a little bit louder right here.
Not only is it fun for broadcasters, for players, it's also big for recruiting. And yes, both these coaches, there might be some animosity with these programs, not necessarily with the coaches, but Van Niel and Stubbs both very big on, look, when we win, when both of our programs are good, we can make Arizona a volleyball state. And that's a very big thing going forward. And crowds like this for both sides going forward will certainly help with recruiting and keeping some of that in-state talent here from the get-go. Big point here out of the timeout. Player Jeter to tap. Cisneros able to keep it alive. Schroll able to dig that up for Cromartie. Now it's Sear who's denied, and the Wildcats lead.
That block from Tucker and Hodge, really, really sharp right now. The timing's been great. They're getting into position, and they're closing this attack off from Arizona State.
The Wildcats get that first big point out of the timeout. It was Cisneros to serve. Sear to tap to the middle there. Keith was able to handle. Boom, kind of an awkward dig, but it worked out for her. Blocked out of play, and the Wildcats are the first to 20. They've scored 4 unanswered.
This is the first time that Arizona has really, you feel, hey, the momentum's out there for grabs. They finally actually grabbed it. Not any service errors. Hopefully for their case, they don't have one coming right now, but you got to keep this going.
Their defense has really set things up in this second set. There's Sear working across court. That's in play, and that was just what the doctor ordered for Arizona State to pull the Devils back to within one and snap that 4-0 run.
That's one for Arizona. Again, kind of tip of the cap, a really good attacker, making a really nice play, going across the court, sneaking it in.
It's ace, and that was perfectly executed and perfectly timed. We're tied again at 20.
Jeter might not be as involved as she'd like in the attack so far tonight, but finding ways to get herself involved and help her team try to come back and take the second set.
Back on that back line, Jeter. Another good one going for Cisneros. Far side swing, and the Wildcats grab the lead right back. They work to that far side, and it was Jalen Hodge, the fifth year out of Queen Creek, Arizona. Gives the Wildcats the lead right back in this seesaw second.
Yeah, 8th kill now for Hodge, second highest mark between the two teams tonight. You're going to need her to finish this second set strong.
Ray has struggled serving tonight, just kind of fluttered that one over the top. Sear denied, and again, it's Tucker alongside Hodge. And the Wildcats now just 3 points away from knotting this thing up at a set aside.
We've seen in this stretch, take a look at this middle block. It's together, it's uniform.
Ray again to serve. Working near side. It's a block party for the Wildcats right now. Jordan Wilson returns.
The solo block from the Gilbert, Arizona native. Those are huge momentum builders. Get your team fired up. It's all high fives for the Wildcats.
Final timeout of the second set called by J.J. Van Niel. 5 blocks, make it 6 blocks now for Arizona, as they've outblocked the Sun Devils by 4, 6-2. And down the stretch here in this second set, that has been the tenor to their success.
Yeah, take another look at this. Solo block is so... Bello does a nice job. Really nice set, setting her up, kind of coming in off the left side. Don't really see her, but Wilson really sharp, head on a swivel, and was right there to take care of it.
Arizona State hit really well in that first set, but in the second, they're at .088. They have struggled in terms of their offensive attack in set number 2. A big reason for that is the blocks, and give Arizona a lot of credit defensively in general. They've just gotten the job done.
And we've seen in that stretch that we just saw with Arizona and their big points and this kind of run to give them this opportunity, when the block has been together, it's been ready, it's been in position, that's when they're getting all their points. Arizona State hasn't been able to find a way through it. It's when that block's gotten a little shaky. There's been a little bit of room. They haven't been on time with each other. That's when Arizona State has found these few points. So that's been key. We mentioned the middle blockers were going to be big tonight. And in the second set, they're earning their money's worth so far.
It was a 4-0 run for the Wildcats before it was snapped with 2 straight for ASU. And they've now followed that up with 3 straight. So the Cats have dominated the late portions of this second set. Another service error on Ray, who has really struggled back there tonight. And ASU gets a point right back out of the timeout, and now they have serve. And Rabella will be back there for Arizona State. Another costly mistake at service line for Arizona. Here's Rabello. Nearly picked up an ace. Near side swing, dug out by Schroll. They're gonna have to hustle for it. They can't get there. And a big time kill by Jordan Wilson.
Yeah, nice swing by Wilson. Schroll almost got there in time to dig it out. Now Arizona State, their backs against the wall in this second set.
This set point for the Wild fans in red and blue rise to their feet. Serve from Hodge. It's another service error. And ASU stays alive for now. That's now 13 service errors. And we're not even through the second set.
Not gonna lie to you, Braden, that one could be one of the costliest ones. That service error just kind of riled this building up a little bit more. If Arizona State pulls a point right here, this place might erupt.
Still set point for Arizona. Sear work to Cisneros. Near side, it is a tip dug out by Schroll. Cromartie taps to center. Killed right down the middle, and the Devils do pick up that point, and this place does erupt. It's back to a 1-point second set, and a timeout taken by Arizona.
Like I said, the service errors. You cannot have that. You gave Arizona State an opportunity, and this is one of those things for an Arizona team. We mentioned they've struggled. It's a really difficult start to this Big 12 stretch. You're playing just about every single ranked team, but you have to learn how to win in situations like this.
Stretch schedule for Arizona in the Big 12. You really couldn't have drawn it up any more difficult to start for the Wildcats. Considering their first year in this conference, they have played every single ranked team besides Kansas. They've also played Utah, who's receiving votes. Take a look at it. They were slept on coming into this season, picked 12th in this conference. They're better than the 12th best team in this league.
Certainly.
Here's Sear. The serve out of the timeout, trying to keep this set alive through middle. Cisneros, that's in, and the Wildcats take the second set. The freshman phenom, Carly Cisneros, works to that far side, and the Wildcats take the second in a thriller, 25-23. Oh, it's a proud program from Tucson. They're playing a rivalry in Tempe.
Time and money. Walmart Plus. It's Walmart Plus.
Tempe. Right away, it's Claire Jeter, and that is something we expect to see in this third set. Jeter's been quiet tonight. They will try to get her going. Top 10 of the country in hit percentage. And so far tonight, she's been relatively quiet by her standards. We mentioned the big crowd. Well, some of the crowd may have forgot tops.
I thought there was a dress policy to get in here.
No shoes, no shirt, no service. Apparently not at Desert Financial Arena. They've been bringing the heat, though, as Cisneros couldn't quite block in return. And ASU with two straight.
I steer right back to it. One of the things that was interesting near the end of that second set, didn't see a lot of Jonah and Sear. They were kind of able to key in on her, and that's been the big thing for Arizona State all year, is that when you have multiples of them on the floor at the same time, you got to pick one, and it's so hard to cover both. When there's only Sear, you've only got one to key in, that block can get set up and they can take care of business.
Cisneros, who came up with that set-winning kill just moments ago. Freshman, you can tell she's settling in a bit more as this match gone on. And really, this team as a whole has settled in. There was Jordan Wilson knotting this thing up at 2.
Really nice. And that, it's a relatively young team for Arizona, a little bit of inexperience, but you mentioned Cisneros. This is the first time, big rivalry match. It's going to take you a little bit of time to settle in.
Wildcats have responded with 3 straight points after they fell behind early. But you're right, relatively new to the rivalry, this being the first match that Cisneros has competed in. But when your head coach, as we've talked about several times, played in this rivalry, won't even say Arizona State, you know that she's been brought up to speed. Wildcats get another point.
Been a good start from
4-2.
Yeah, this has been a good start from Arizona. Not really, it's been really clean for the most part. The block's been getting in position well. None of any of those mistakes.
Momentum up for grabs early on in a set. And with the way that second ended, very impressive for the Wildcats to go on this 4-0 run. Ung lays out to keep it alive, but it is all for naught. And it's now a 5-0 run for Arizona.
Yeah, really, really good start for Arizona. That was when Arizona State got a little out of sorts. That defense kind of rotating around, left a big hole over there on that far side of the floor.
Keys tonight for Arizona. They had to be able to pass. The serve and pass game was huge. They've struggled in serving, but their passing has overall been pretty sharp. And then the middle blockers, of course. That was a big key for this Wildcat squad. Both of those things have really sharpened up in terms of their passing and working through the middle blockers as the second set went on and early on here in the third. There's another big swing and a kill from Jalen Hodge, who's now up into double figures with 10. And Arizona State reeling a bit here to start the third. It's 6 unanswered points for the Wildcats.
Yeah, 6-0 run, really nicely done as Carly Cisneros leading the way.
Hey, Flo.
Aggressive, 2.
There's an ace. Right on cue for Cisneros. It's the 5th ace for U of A.
Yeah, 5th ace. Really starting to kind of balance out those service error numbers. But Cisneros, we saw at the beginning, kind of midpoint that second set, I mentioned something. maybe reeling it back, being a little more cautious. Cisneros starting to feel it a little bit more and being a little more aggressive.
This time more of a line drive serve, and that one was too heavy. So that 7-0 scoring run, the largest run by either side tonight, is finally snapped. And now for Arizona State, try to take a deep breath and regroup a bit.
Yeah, Cisneros was really frustrated with that long serve, but I'm not upset about that.
Bryn Coble to serve for ASU. First time we've called the freshman from North Carolina's name. There was Sear, and she's right back doing what she's been doing all night long. That was much needed for Arizona State. And it pulls the Devils back to within 4.
Yeah, at that point, Sear finishing it off, but it's all started right.
Back down to 3, I beg your pardon, as they work near side, tap to center, laying out to keep that point alive. And hustle that time by Coble. From Marty. There's Colheed with the kill. Savannah Colheed, who was red hot last Friday night. They would love to get her going. Struggling a bit more in this matchup. That was her 4th kill. And the Devils respond after a 7-0 scoring run for Arizona with 3 straight points of their own. Cisneros took that serve. It's blocked. And another point for ASU. And guess who? It's Colheed again.
Yeah, Colheed's been really sharp these last couple of points. A nice little change up on the previous one for the kill, and then getting involved there in the block. Getting into position.
Good response for the 13th ranked Sun Devils, but that was a power kill straight down line. And that was a statement made on that far side by Jordan Wilson.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was digging that one out. That was going to find a point one way or another.
And Goebel had little chance to dig that one out, as you said. Played to center. Schroll working to this near side, and that was tipped at the net, and a point for Arizona State. Wildcats immediately calling for a potential challenge, at least they were on this near side with Jalen Hodge leading the defense.
Yeah, I think they thought about it, but was just a little bit of a tip right there near net.
So it was a 7-0 run for Arizona, and now a 6-0 run for ASU. Momentum going back and forth. Is that a kill on this near side again for Hodge? Momentum, big swings all night long between these two sides, but the extended runs, something new we've seen here in the 3rd. This is Brenna Ginder, a freshman. That was heady, but a pancake to keep that point alive. There's Ginder, and it results in a point for U of A. Oh, that's beautiful. Ginder kept it alive. Wilson finished it off.
How about the freshman libero? That was so impressive on this sneaky little, that kind of set attack. Grabbing another point.
Ginder from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Midwest flair. Her head coach also hails from the Midwest, originally from Cleveland. And there was Sear coming up yet again. There's kill number 15, and she's getting pretty close to her career high she set just a couple of weeks ago when she had 18 at TCU.
Yeah, it's going right back to the well. Sear at this near baseline. They want to keep going to it. Starting to get a little bit more of the cross court involved.
This is evenly played of a set as you could have so far. Momentum has swung back and forth. The Wildcats get the point there to go ahead 10-9. To serve for U of A, it's Jalen Hodge. Schroll plays off from Marty, who taps, and miscommunication that time as Roby got a fingertip on it, immediately regretted it, and it's a point for Arizona State.
Yeah, and Cromartie really nicely done. Came in flying hot, almost expecting that big power shot from Cromartie, rising high into the gym. Just a really nice job. Take everything off of it, drop it in.
Ginder to center, it's blocked right back. It was Jeter there for Arizona State, and the Sun Devils take the lead.
Jeter and Cromartie. I think Cromartie might have gotten a little bit of piece of that one too. Might be standing at just 5'9", but she's not afraid to get involved in that block.
Good looking serve that time by Schroll. Near side swing, dug out by Sear. Near side, Cromartie, and nobody was there for the Wildcats. Timeout taken on the floor. Called by Arizona. And this third set already, 5 ties, 4 lead changes.
And Jeter really nicely done getting that assist, setting Cromartie up. We've mentioned how Jeter hasn't really been really as involved as you think that she would be in terms of the kills, but that's what a good team leader, that's what one of the best players in the country does, finds way to get your team points when you need them.
We've talked about this off air, but to say it on air, yes, the records are what they are. Yes, Arizona State is ranked 13th, but in a rivalry match, and we got kind of the vibe from this Arizona team leading into this one tonight that they were ready to go, they were charged up, they were fired up. You can throw up.
Losing control of the match. You see a lot of teams that would just shut down. It would be a quick 2-0. We'd be potentially sitting here looking at a quick 3-0 match. But no, this Arizona team, they fought back. There's a reason they're 12-3, okay? They've played some really good teams to open up conference play. You don't win 12 matches or 11 matches to start off the year and go unbeaten in non-conference if you're not a solid club.
They proved that tonight on the road, tough environment, and they've responded well. Speaking of responding well, the 3-0 run by ASU is snapped by Jalen Hodge, her 12th kill, and that was clinical out of the timeout.
Yeah, Hodge is just so impressive to watch. It doesn't matter where she is. It doesn't matter what she's got in front of her. She's finding ways to earn points.
That was in, and another ace. Sun Devils have been so used to letting the serves fly over their heads and picking up service error points. That time, it was placed perfectly by Jordan Wilson. Hamilton High School, 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year. This Wildcat roster littered with former Gatorade Player of the Years. And Wilson is one of them. Nice job digging that out, keeping that point alive. That was Ray, who's back in there for Arizona. Knotted up again at 12. Schroll able to dig that out to center. Attacking quickly. That's that Arizona State offense, a great example of what they bring to the table. But the Wildcats were able to handle it. Free ball. Wildcats with a chance to try to take advantage. Cisneros could not keep it in play, although it was tipped. And it will be a point for U of A.
That's when Jeter, you saw right near kind of the tail end of that point, Jeter off that first block that she had, she thought that she had the point. It caught the fingertips of Jeter.
Another service error, and it will be a point for Arizona State. Normally, if there's a quick argument, you get the sense maybe the challenge is coming up. We didn't see an argument from Claire Jeter, so it must have nicked those fingertips.
Yeah, that's one of the ones, the official standing up, looking right down the line. They've got a great view of it.
Boom to serve for ASU. Down line and set to perfection. Yet again, Jalen Hodge.
Hodge, once again, just keep going back to her. Let her go to work.
Yes. It's funny, we asked Coach Stubbs, when you guys have been at your best this year, what is the common denominator? And normally coaches would say, well, our passing has been sound, or we've been solid on the back line. Her response was simply, Hodge and Wilson, they've been successful. That's it. That's all it's been. Yep. That's what matters. And of course, it's not just those two players, but they are so important to the success of this Wildcat squad. And that answer really proved that point. Here's Neal back for Arizona State. Doughty, the Italian, number 15 in red. The dig to center, near side swing, and again, guess who? It's Hodge.
And you mentioned how Coach was talking about how when this team plays well, it's because of Hodge. And you got to look at something, too. There's so much expectations on her. She's got to be a leader on this team. They're expecting her to lead them in kills and help kind of be a driving force. And that's a lot for a student athlete to have on their shoulders, and she's handling it absolutely phenomenal.
Scoggins to serve. Arizona's lead is 1. There's Jeter. Wild scrum to keep this point alive. It was Cisneros eventually getting it over for Arizona. Jeter attacking that far side, still alive, but ultimately it will be a point for Arizona State. And that was set up by Claire Jeter in center.
Yeah, and mixing up that attacking look, going back to that play we saw in the first set with Jeter on the inside and then Sear right behind her. This time a couple quick sets, Jeter going fast and not letting it get all the way through.
But with the velocity on that, speaking of velocity, straight down was Journey Tucker. And knocks this thing back the way of Arizona.
Welcome back to the match, Journey Tucker. Haven't heard her name in just a little bit. Right there in the middle, just firing it almost straight down.
Cisneros again back there to serve. She's been back there a ton in this third set. Ung able to level to Schroll. Sear, who's been relatively quiet in this third set as well. Got a touch. Ung. Sear with a tap. Still alive for the Wildcats. On the far side, Wilson. Dug out by Schroll. Ung. Sear. There's kill number 16 for Jelly Sear.
You felt like the way that point was going, it was going to go one of two ways. Either Sear with a kill or Hodge with a kill, and Sear ends up coming away with the biggest hit of the rally.
Not to be Captain Obvious here, but these next 9 points, gigantic. The swing third set has been played so evenly. And a service error will give the Wildcats the lead right back at 17-16. But whoever drops this third set, it's a tough hill to climb, knowing that this has been a match where you have to really fight and scrap for each and every point. It's Ginder again back there for Arizona, and Wildcats got gifted a service error, and they give it right back. Service error number 16 on the Wildcats.
Yeah, a little exchange there between the two teams, giving each other a point.
17 aside here in the third. A good one tonight here in Tempe. Near side swing. Schroll able to dig it out. Still alive. Set up and a kill for Jordan Wilson, I should say.
Yeah, Wilson, nice job on that far end. Kind of sneaking that one through that block.
Now it's Hodge back there to serve. Ung right back to Cromartie. She's denied, and the Cats lead by 2.
That one was Avery Scoggins. The freshman from North Carolina, right place, right time, staying strong in the block.
Hodge again back there. Arizona's lead, like we said, is 2. It's now 3. And they're the first to 20 in the third set. And J.J. Van Niel quickly calls a timeout. Momentum on the side of Arizona. They're trying to pull off the shocker here in Tempe. And they've taken control, although it's just 3 points, of this third set.
3 points, and you mentioned kind of at that point when you got down, when it was tied 17-17. You're getting down those final 8 points, really the final 10 points. But it's down, hey, you just need 5 down. There's a lot of momentum on the way of Arizona. And as the underdog coming into a situation like this, the timeout, take a second, recompose yourself, keep doing what you're doing. Try to see if you can't finish this third one off and put Arizona State in a really uncomfortable position.
Talked about the crowd on hand here tonight a few times, and there you go. 4,000 visitors in this kind of an atmosphere to harbor that energy and maybe allow it to hurt you. It's not been the case with these Wildcats. They have settled in. At times they've taken the crowd completely out of it. And in this recent run of 3 straight points, they've done just that. And now trying to win their second consecutive set on the road against number 13 ASU. And have a firm handle on this match overall. Off the tape, Cromartie had to lay out to keep that point alive. Excellent effort. Ooh. This is a crucial point out of the timeout. To center, it's Colheed, and that is exactly what Arizona State needed. They had to have that point, and they get it. Colheed got the job done.
Yeah, Colheed will check out getting Jeter back in there. I think that's one where Colheed's going to look back and say, hey, you know what, it worked. I don't think she caught it as well as she wanted to, and honestly, it's probably better that she didn't.
Center, and that is a beautiful play by Scoggins. First time we've called out Avery Scoggins' name, really, since the early portion of this match. She comes from a family of great volleyball lineage. Her mom, Jody, played at Georgia. Her aunt, Janet, played at Nebraska. And here Avery is in Tucson, coming up with a big kill to give her team a 3-point cushion. It's dug out in center. Schroll laid out to keep it alive. Sear now plays back Cromartie. Cisneros kept the point alive. Jeter, Koval, Jeter right back. It's a dig somehow to keep it alive by Ray. What a rally here. Back and forth we go. Cisneros denied, and the point to Arizona State.
Cisneros has been so impressive tonight. That was when she was not getting through Claire Jeter that time.
Crucial moment of this match. Ung to serve. Play it right down the middle. It's dug out by Sear. Right back at him, and the point to Cisneros. She doesn't play like a freshman, I'll tell you that.
No, she certainly doesn't. That's what you love to see from a young player. You go with an attack, you get it knocked right down, right. That's going to be a ball that she wishes she had back.
Wildcats close out the third. They were able to do so last set. It's just tapped over, and that was done beautifully by Bailey Miller. First time we've called out her name, the junior from Texas. Spent her first 2 years at West Virginia. And steps up at a crucial moment right there for ASU.
Yeah, that was a point that was much needed for Arizona State. Get back on serve, see if they can't catch a little bit of a run here of their own.
Again, it's Neal back there to serve. That's exactly who ASU would want in this scenario. Ung able to dig that out. Now it's Schroll, played over near side. Tapped by Sear, and the Devils back to within one. 17th kill for Jelly Sear, who's now just one shy of tying her career high.
That's so good from Sear right there. You're expecting her. Seems like every single time she has it come towards her to fire at home, just takes everything off of it and drops it right in front.
Great serve by Neil Cisneros, barely able to handle that. The Wildcats got it back across. Now it's Jeter. Ginder off to the far side. Up to Ung, to center, Sear. It's Ginder right back, played off near side. A swing, dug out by Schroll. Still alive. 3 ball back to the Wildcats. To the middle. Schroll, tap back over. Long rally, critical point in the third. Big time swing by Cisneros, dug out by Schroll. Sear with a kill attempt, no. Back to center yet again, Cisneros. Kept alive by Neal. Sear kills it for Arizona State. And this crowd reaches a fever pitch as we're tied at 22.
What a rally from these. The block wasn't there in time. And you got the feeling as that rally kept on going, eventually Sear was going to find a spot.
A career high is matched, and we've got at least one more set to play. Again, it's Jillian Neal, serving specialist for this ASU program. 3 straight points for the Sun Devils. Alive at net, and ASU has scored 4 in a row. And they have retaken the lead, 23-22. Timeout, Arizona. And this place is rocking.
Yeah, timeout from Sharita Stubbs, a needed timeout. This building's gotten back involved. You kind of mentioned a little bit earlier in this match how those long rallies It's a momentum builder, and you sense it as it's going on. Everybody hanging on the edge of their seat. You hear the oohs and the ahs, and then finally, especially when you get a home crowd like this to find it, goodness gracious, what a moment for this Arizona State team, clawing their way back in this third set.
We've had some long rallies so far tonight. That not only the longest rally so far, but also the most crucial. And Jelly Sear, who now has 19 kills, a new career high, the most by any Sun Devil so far this season, has given her team the lead at 23-22.
I don't think she was pleased with just having one Big 12 Player of the Week award. She's certainly making a pretty strong case to try and go back-to-back.
Yeah, both these teams have one more match to come this weekend. Arizona State will hit the road against Texas Tech at 11 a.m. on Saturday. You can see it here on ESPN Plus. In Arizona, the same story, although they'll be at home a week from today against Colorado. They've got Saturday off. Checking in for the Wildcats out of the timeout is Georgia Mandotti. Sun Devils still to serve, and that means, again, it's Jillian Neal. This 4-0 scoring run with their backs against the wall has put Arizona State in position to try to come from behind and steal this third set. Set near side. Big time swing. Dug out by Schroll. Again, it's Sear. This time a denial, and the Wildcats get the point to knot us back up at 23 aside.
Yeah, that one, I think Sear leaping from a little too far back, just got the timing just slightly off. Yeah, block was in a nice position, though, too. Nice job by Tucker.
Heath back to serve for U of A, the southpaw. It's just over the top of the tape. Played near side. Sear gives ASU the lead right back, and it is a set point on the 20th kill of the night for Jelly Sear.
Just keep getting it to 8 in gold. Now Jeter has an opportunity here on serve.
There is that serve. Cisneros digs it out. Played near side. It's not going to be done that quickly. Beautiful swing from Hodge, and we will play extra here in the third set. 24 apiece.
Hodge and Sear have just been going back and forth, and it's been awesome to watch.
It's Carly Cisneros, the freshman on the big stage, and it is a service error, a new season high in service errors for the Wildcats. Their 17th has set ASU up with their second set point.
The freshman Cisneros a little overly aggressive on that one. She had a really good run early in this third set. Maybe trying to do a little too much.
Koval to serve. To center, near side, tapped over, and they will not go away. It's Hodge yet again, her 16th kill.
Yeah, Hodge is doing her best trying to catch Sear.
And this third set has been a doozy from the jump. Arizona went on a 7-0 run early on. ASU responded with a 6-0 run. From that point on, it's been played within a point or two the entire time. Wilson kept it alive. A chance for Arizona State. They play it off to Coley. Dug out by Cisneros, but the point will go to Arizona State. Wildcats can't believe it. And there will be a quick show of that green card, and a challenge will be set out by Coach Stubbs.
Yeah, the entire team out there on the floor for Arizona. A quick kind of spin around. I'm really confused as to how the whistle was blown and the point was awarded.
Here's another look. Challenging that there was a show of that green card, and a challenge will be set out by Coach Stubbs.
Yeah, the entire team out there on the floor for Arizona. A quick kind of spin around. I'm really confused as to how the whistle was blown and the point was awarded.
Here's another look. Challenging that there was no on that last play. Let's have another look here. I didn't see anything. And of course, you hear it in every single sport when things are reviewed. It's got to be conclusive evidence, and it was not conclusive. The point for Arizona State, and for a third time in this third set, they have a set point. And this time, it's Jelly Sear. Isn't that fitting to be back to serve? And the Devils finally claim this third set. We're about to find out together. Cisneros handles. Play to that far side. They're not done yet. Yet again, back against the wall. Jordan Wilson with a kill.
Wilson's been hanging out on that far side, right along the line. We've seen it really for every attacker for Arizona. We've seen Wilson over there, Cisneros. We've seen Hodge come and attack from that spot a couple times. Finding a lot of joy over there.
Hodge this time to serve. Koval, Cromartie taps over. It's handled by the Wildcats. Another tap, and the Sun Devils again will have another opportunity. Their fourth set point, and this time they'll have a serving specialist in Mary Schroll back there. 19 aces leading the team. The honorable mention All-American from a year ago. And the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week to serve. No ace this time, but it was set up beautifully. Still alive. Sun Devils able to get it back across. It was Koval. Off to that far side. Big time swing and another big kill for Jordan Wilson.
It's a big moment for Wilson, going right back to her after a little bit of a misplay. I think she was trying to do too much. She'd been going aggressive with these really big swings, and that's where we're seeing all those points on that far side for her. They need to keep going back to that.
You think this match means a lot to Arizona? How about their fight? Wilson to serve. Jeter now, straight in the middle. Schroll digs that out for ASU. They play it off Cromartie. Wasn't a great pass. Cisneros, and a hammer kill right in center by Heath. And for the first time in this marathon third set, Arizona has a set point.
That red and navy blue starting to stand up, make a little bit of noise for the visitors.
It's Wilson back there. Set point for Arizona. To center, Jeter, and the Devils aren't done yet either. This is what it's all about. Rivalry match, upset on the line. Both of those teams out there right now are giving their absolute all.
This is awesome, and Arizona State keeps going to that same set, trying to get Jeter involved on that the quick set and trying to fire it home on that right side. She hasn't really found much joy most of the evening, but finally snuck one through.
Ung back to serve for ASU. Right in center, it's dug out by Ung. Nice job there for ASU. Cromartie. Blocked at the net, kept alive though by the Wildcats. Cisneros will swing. Dive by Sear. Cromartie in center, and ASU yet again. You've heard it before. In fact, you've heard it 4 times. Set point, ASU.
Nicely done. Cromartie elevates, knocks it home. I'd say go right back to her if they get an opportunity.
Ung, a serve. To center, it's just tapped. Jeter able to handle. This is ASU's chance, but it's a block party yet again. Oh, this is phenomenal. And it's Heath, who's been huge in this recent stretch.
Arizona State went back to Cromartie like I wanted to see, but Heath perfectly played. That should go down as a solo right there.
Roby This time serving. Far side swing. And again, it's Bailey Miller, who was silent all night long and has come up with 2 huge kills for ASU in this third set. It is the 6th set point in this thriller of a third. And it's Jillian Neal to do the honors for the Sun Devils. Cisneros handles. Just got to tap it across. Schroll high up for Sear, and ASU survives a marathon in the third. The 21st kill of the night for Jelly Sear. And the Devils take the third set 31-29.
Jelly Sear, have yourself a night. Keep going right back to her, cross court, near the baseline. And this place is absolutely loving it.
And guess what? We're not done yet. Off to the 4th in a thriller. Number 13, Arizona State. They're getting all they can handle tonight from their arch rivals. Trying to close out the Wildcats when we come back.
This conference.
But can they find this kind of a performance consistently? And do they have the fight to do it again here in the 4th? They showed so much heart tonight, and they start off with a kill right down line to grab the first point of the 4th set.
You could lean on the junior Wilson or, the 5th-year senior Hodge, or you could just go right back to the freshman. That's fine too.
Number 1 recruit in America, Cisneros now back to serve after picking up her 7th kill. It's tipped at net, kept alive. Near side, big time swing, dug out again by Schroll, who's all over the place at all times. That's what we opened the broadcast with tonight, and certainly she has done it yet again. That was offline, and ASU has responded with 2 straight points. Ginder returns for Arizona. And Schroll will serve. She's in her 6th year playing college volleyball. 4 years at LMU, and talked about this after ASU's win over BYU the other night. How it's just a dream come true. This is where she grew up watching volleyball. Of course, being from here in Tempe and now getting to do so at a high level for a ranked Sun Devil program. There's Cromartie with her 11th kill. She's in double figures with those 11 kills, but she's been quiet as this match has worn on. If she can get going again, that'd be big for ASU.
Yeah, Cromartie, she's kind of been the sneaky one in this. You haven't really seen a ton of Jeter. Cole Heed's been a little bit quiet, but Cromartie, 11 kills so far tonight.
A transfer from Mississippi State is Schroll with a service error. We've told you about Arizona's struggles in that department with a season-high 17. ASU now with 6. Couple of statistical outliers, that being one. The other big outlier, Arizona way ahead in the blocking department, 10-4. Nearly had another one right there, but it's Jeter who comes up with the kill. Claire Jeter with her 6th. And ASU back on top very early on here in the 4th.
Yeah, a little back and forth, kind of what we expected so far through these first few sets. Really kind of staying right on script, so to say.
It will be Argentina Ung back to serve. She came up really clutch for ASU in that wild sequence. Back and forth we went in that third set. If you're just joining us, ASU took the third set 31-29. They had 5 different set points before they ultimately came up with the winner. The Wildcats aren't going away quietly, though, as Jordan Wilson comes up with her 12th kill. Now a dozen for the junior from Gilbert.
Yeah, you got Hodge and Wilson both with double-digit kills. Cisneros right behind with 7. Those 3 really leading the way.
Another service error.
Another service error. Just, again, we didn't really have to say a ton of it in that third set. Cleaned it up really nicely, Arizona did. And that's one of those things, can't fall back into that like they did in the first and second.
It's Neal who is serving in huge moments of that third set, and service errors given by both sides consecutively.
Back and forth. It's like a seesaw. 18 total service errors.
Great serve that time. It was positioned beautifully by Wilson. The Devils had to scramble to keep that alive. They were able to do so, and now it's broken on the other end. Sloppy on both sides, but Jeter will end up with the point.
Yeah, in moments like that, when everything breaks down, you just go to one of your best players, and that was Jeter making a play.
That's now 51 kills for ASU tonight. That is the 5th time this season they've eclipsed that 50-kill mark. And it's the 3rd highest overall this year. Point kept alive somehow. Arizona was about to celebrate that point. Now they have to scramble to keep this alive. Beautiful. Cisneros was denied. Oh, and it was excellent by Bailey Miller. All-out effort to first off keep the point alive and then ultimately reject Cisneros.
Yeah, Miller, just absolute great effort. And that one, you're going to have to look back at that pass from Wilson. Kind of led a little too far. And another service error.
Another service error right on cue. That time it was Jeter who couldn't line that up properly. Schroll will return for Jeter. And it will go back to Arizona. Kiari Roby. Second team all ACC last year at Florida State. Big time swing and a big time kill for Miller. How about Bailey Miller? She kind of just has that knack. Obviously extremely talented, like we said. Second on the team last year in kills at West Virginia. And has a knack to show up just kind of out of nowhere. And that's what she's done so far tonight. Made some huge plays in the 3rd set and has carried that into the 4th. Dug out a mile high up there. Koval got the job done. Tapped by Sear. And almost hit the video board here at Desert Financial Arena. Not a great pass. Sear able to handle, and sometimes it's just your night. There's her 22nd kill. The flexibility and the athleticism to reach back on a pass that was not accurate. Just an impressive play.
David Sear, yeah, that was just a little bit behind her, but a nice job on it. Honestly, kind of dropped the arm slot just a little bit, got just enough of it and snuck it right through the middle.
Bryn Koval to serve for ASU. Wilson. Cromartie able to dig it out, but it was all for naught as Sear and Colheed collided. Trying to keep that point alive, and the kill. Yet again, it's Hodge. So much talk about Jelly Sear with those 22 kills, and deservingly so. She's now got a double-double with 11 digs as well. But Hodge has 17 kills tonight and 13 digs. 2 stars shining bright in a rivalry matchup. How about Cromartie reaching back to keep it alive? Now it's Sear yet again. There's 23.
Keep counting them up for Jelly Sear. I feel like at some point it's going to have to be like at a baseball stadium. We're going to need to get somebody up in the stands, start laying them over the railing.
The K counter.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sear had that streak of 10-plus kills snapped. It was 5 straight. It was snapped against BYU. Well, I think she's responded to say, I didn't go anywhere. Has demolished her previous career high, which was 18. Big time swing. What a play by Schroll. Laying out for it. Cromartie. That's in play. And it's ASU on top by 4. Timeout, Arizona. Schroll, Cromartie, the Devils are swarming, trying to take this rivalry match in 4. Laying out all-out effort, and then it's the Mississippi State transfer with the kill. Devils by 4. The side of Arizona State, and that will continue with Ung. Argentina Ung, not familiar really with killing and scoring points for ASU. She's obviously outstanding at her role, assisting her way through most matches, but comes up with a big-time opportunity. You can see the reaction there. She's laughing her way through that, and ASU's lead is now 5, the largest it's been here in the 4th set.
Yeah, 38 assists for Ung. That might be the easiest kill she'll have all year right there.
Sear back to serve, and it was a good one. Cisneros able to handle. Set over. There's Sear. Tapped over the top that time by Coley. Cromartie. A scattered sequence here for the Devils. Cisneros. There's Schroll. Back over.
Wilson took a deflection. And another big point for Arizona State.
This match just over 2 hours long, and it has been edge of your seat intense the entire time. Both these teams playing their hearts out. Here's Sear. Quiet by her standards on a career-high night. For the middle part of this fourth set. Miller, that's in. And yet again, it's Bailey Miller showing up in the biggest of moments for her squad.
You got to question, how in the world do you stop this attack for Arizona State? You've got Sear and Cromartie having really just great nights as along this fourth set, and she's just been awesome, to say the least. Catching big points at the right moments. You look at that 16, you start kind of counting down. That number that you need to hit keeps getting smaller and smaller.
60 kills now for Arizona State tonight. That's a season high. They're hitting at a 263 clip. It has been a back and forth affair. If you're just joining us, ASU took the first 25-20. The second set went Arizona's way in dramatic fashion, 25-23. That third set is going to be one that we remember for a while. 31-29 ASU, and the Devils have carried on that momentum here into the fourth set, and that's kind of what we were talking about. We started talking about this when it was still like 24-23 in that third set, but you could tell it was that swinging set, if you will. Momentum was going to be very big for whoever won that. Could be demoralizing for the squad that lost it. So far, at least, into this fourth set, looks like that absolutely was the case. ASU has looked every bit like the part of the team with all the momentum right now.
Yeah, certainly. And it looked like the 13th ranked team in the land, really, too. And I think a big thing it's going to be, can Arizona come out with a little bit of something out of that timeout? Looking at them over there on the bench, really quiet. Everybody really focused. It's a good thing. We're going to need some energy for this Arizona side. They're going to try and claw their way back into this match.
You mentioned getting closer and closer to closing this thing out. You know J.J. Van Niel, players on the floor for ASU, they're not thinking that way. They've got to just try to keep playing all the way through. Don't even look at the scoreboard. There's a timely ace from Jillian Neal. Just the second ace tonight for Arizona State. And that lead is now 8.
Yeah, big ace right there, especially coming out of the timeout. An opportunity for Arizona to get a little bit of energy, taking it right away.
Another serve by Neal. That's another good one. Ginder had to really flail out to corral that. Chance here for Arizona State. Ung plays near side. It's met at the net. Straight up into the air. Schroll back to Neal. Here's Sear. A flip over the top. Big time swing and a point right back. There's Jalen Hodge yet again. There's her 20th kill. How about Hodge and Sear? Couple of ballers for the Wildcats and Devils. They've each got 20-plus kills tonight.
Yeah, and Hodge, it's been a while since we've said her name. Arizona State doing a really good job limiting all of her attacks. Really shutting her down in this fourth set.
Giorgia Mendotti, the junior from Milan, Italy. 5-7 to serve. That's off the tape over the top. Sear taps with the left. Played back on a scramble. Cisneros couldn't quite get the job done. And a wild, out-of-control scramble goes the way of ASU. We're starting to smell blood in the water.
Yeah, they certainly are. It's the passing. It was one of our keys of the match tonight for Arizona. You got to be crisp and clean in your passes. Wasn't right there.
Jeter was serving there, and that was a beautiful play on this near side. Point for the Wildcats. They had long extended runs in that third set. We mentioned a 7-0 run at the very beginning of that third set. Down by 7 here. See if history could repeat itself. They'd even take a 3 or 4-0 run. Just put the pressure back on ASU a little bit. Ung tapped over. Laying out to keep that alive was Cisneros. Schroll, Ung, near side, tap, point for ASU. It's Bailey Miller with her 6th kill. She's hitting Killian at a 667 clip.
Yeah, she's been really good tonight, especially in this 4th set. That's when it's almost like playing Battleship, just dropping it right in on top. Almost didn't even expect it.
Bryn Koval to serve. It's handled by Wilson. There's Cromartie off Ung on the slide. It was Colheed. That's kind of hurt go-to. Cromartie kept it alive, but too far back, and the point for Arizona. The first to 20 is always so important. ASU leading by 7. Trying to pick up their 3rd straight win in general. And beat Arizona all 3 times when J.J. Van Niel's been at the helm. That's out. And it's a 19th service error as that unfortunate season high for Arizona continues to swell.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the things when Coach Stubbs and this Arizona team look back at this match. That's going to be the big number that they circle come the conclusion of this thing, no matter how it goes.
Great serve by Sear that time. Handled nicely by the Wildcats. Cisneros on that far side. Ball still alive. Big time swing, and it's a block. And it's Colheed. And ASU just 4 points away from closing out their rivals from down south.
Number 13 in the country starting to flex their muscle a little bit here in this 4th set.
And you wonder if Arizona just put so much effort, so much energy into that 3rd set scramble. Did they just run out of gas? Didn't look like it there. Big time swing and a kill again from Jordan Wilson. She's in double figures. Yeah, Hodge leading the way with 20 kills, but Wilson not far behind with 14 to her tally.
Yeah, good backline attack there from Wilson, flying in from the center.
Cisneros. Handled by Schroll. And it is a net violation, I believe, on Arizona State. So consecutive points to the Wildcats. And again, it will be Cisneros back there. She'll remember this match for the rest of her college career. First time out against ASU, battling through that 3rd set, coming up just short of that set. And if they end up coming up short overall, you know that'll be a chip on the shoulder for Arizona, especially when these 2 teams meet again in Tucson. There's a kill again by Colheed. And it's still an 8-point cushion for ASU.
Yeah, when these 2 meet again, it's certainly going to be a fun one down there in Tucson. Colheed, straight down the chute.
Just over 2 weeks' time. It'll be on the 24th of October down in Tucson. These 2 squads familiar. And whoever drops this one will definitely be ready to go. There's Jeter. And ASU now just 2 points away as Claire Jeter, 7th best hit percentage in the country. And she's right on that season average so far tonight, hitting at .381. Schroll to serve. Nice job in center. First time in a while we have called the name of Journey Tucker.
And Tucker will check out. Big thing, realize Arizona, no timeouts left in this 4th set, so a lot of trust now have to be placed by Coach Stubbs and his coaching staff. There are players out there on the floor. They want to get back into this. They got to do it themselves.
Marty took that serve, looking like it might have been out of play. Squabbling for it near net. Here's Sear. Cisneros able to dig that out, played off far side. Schroll yet again, so valuable to this ASU team. So is Cromartie. Nice job by Arizona to keep this point alive. It's played back over the top by Wilson. Near side swing by Ung. Arizona State has match point. And the maroon and gold contingent tonight in Tempe rises to their feet as they look for a rivalry win. It's been a thriller all night long. And the number 13 team in the country trying to close them out. Ung to serve. set to middle. Tapped over the top. Kept alive nicely by Arizona. Dug out again by Sear. Arizona State gets the job done in a rivalry matchup. It was hard fought throughout, but the 13th ranked Sun Devils get the job done, winning in 4 over Arizona. In the 4th set, a statement piece. 25-15, the Devils get the win. They're now 15-2 overall, 4-1 in conference play. They've won 3 in a row. Arizona, they dropped to 12-4, 1-4 in Big 12 play.